Anything is possible in Disney, including weird relations and connections. Here is one hell of a family tree, and you have to be very attentive to get it. The tree begins around 1000 AD with Aladdin, with Jasmine and Aladdin fleeing to Africa to escape the Crusades. Meanwhile, in Europe circa 1500 AD, Snow White and Prince Bertram have a daughter named Analiese. Analiese becomes the mother of Sleeping Beauty's Princess Aurora in France, who marries England's Prince Phillip. Their grandson weds Cinderella, and their son becomes the cursed prince in Beauty and the Beast. Post-curse, he and Belle have a son who marries Eric and Ariel's Danish daughter, Melody. 4 generations later, this bloodline meets Jasmine and Aladdin's, whose descendant has made it to America, resulting in the birth of the Princess and the Frog's Prince Naveen. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. But here are other relations that actually make a lot of sense as compiled by Riveted. Don't forget to mention your favorite connection from the video for a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. Belle, Beast, and Jane. Beauty and the Beast had several Disney cameos like a screenshot-defying appearance of a PUMBA-looking boar carried on a spit, a traitor shaking out Aladdin's friend Carpet, and a clearly defined Belle, nose stuck in a book, walking through Paris. But there's a hidden relation which only Disney legends could notice. Jane from Tarzan is actually the great-granddaughter of Belle and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. The tea set, which includes Chip and Mrs. Potts and Tarzan, is the exact one that the Beast had. Jane and Belle, who look alike, are also the only Disney characters whose signature color is yellow. The Enchantress and the Beast. In Beauty and the Beast, a selfish and cruel prince is transformed into a hideous monster after he refuses to help an enchantress disguised as an old hag. Okay, this always seemed like a bit of an overreaction to us. A beast? Really? We guessed that the Enchantress was Beast's scorned lover. That's why the punishment was so severe. The official Disney tie-in novel, The Beast Within, actually confirmed this theory. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, especially when she's a witch. Andy's mom and Emily. Andy's mom from Toy Story is the same little girl who abandoned Jessie in Toy Story 2. Andy's hat in the first film looks exactly like Jessie's the yodeling cowgirl's hat in Toy Story 2. In the depressing flashback, the little girl who owned Jessie originally had that same hat. It could be that she still liked the hat and eventually gave it to her son, Andy. Also, Emily's childhood room decor was 1960s Flower Power, and Toy Story came out in 1995, which would make Emily in her 30s. Perfect age to have a 6-year-old kid. Ariel's mom, Peter Pan, and by Captain Hook. The mermaids in Peter Pan may not be super memorable, but there is one mermaid who sticks out more than the rest, a young redhead who bears a striking resemblance to Athena from The Little Mermaid. It is also revealed in the tales that Athena was killed by pirates, and the mermaids in Peter Pan have a less than cordial relationship with Captain Hook and his pirates. Yes, Captain Hook killed Ariel's mom. It's too well planned to be a coincidence. It's a tragic fan theory for sure, but one that's sadly basically been confirmed. Elsa, Anna, and Rapunzel. The director of Frozen said the king and queen of Arendelle were headed to a wedding in the neighboring kingdom, but they never made it and went on to become Tarzan's parents. Then, years later, we see a married, short-haired Rapunzel and Flynn attending Elsa's coronation day. The stars of Tangled are impossible to miss thanks to their hairstyles and clothing. The theory here is that Elsa, Anna, and Rapunzel are cousins. Both Rapunzel and Elsa are blonde and both have powers that look pretty but are kind of weird. Rapunzel's superpower hair and Elsa's freeze ray powers are no accident. And King Agnar and Queen Iduna may have very good reasons for hiding their daughter away after seeing what happened to her cousin Rapunzel. The theory that suggested that the sisters were also related to Tarzan was crashed with the arrival of Frozen 2. Frozen 2 explains where the parents were headed and why they died, and it has absolutely nothing to do with Tarzan. Ariel and the ship. In The Little Mermaid, Ariel explores a shipwreck that could well be the one that the king and queen of Arendelle perished in. The ship ended up on the ocean floor somewhere near Norway, where Frozen is set. Guess what country is near Norway? Denmark, the setting of The Little Mermaid. Please don't ask how Ariel survived the dangerous deep sea where Elsa literally died and came back to life. Ariel is a mermaid and she probably went through worse in the ocean. Boo from Monsters, Inc. is the witch from Brave. The witch from Brave magically disappears when she goes through doorways, something the monsters from Monsters, Inc. can do too. Is it possible Boo learned a trick or two from her bestie Solly? Of course, Brave takes place hundreds of years before Monsters, Inc., but if Boo can teleport through doors, it would make sense that she can also move through time a bit. If you think this is a bit far-fetched, check out the carvings in the Witch's Workshop. There's a carving of Solly in there, even though he won't exist for a few more centuries. The Witch and the Animals in PIXAR. Somehow the animals in Pixar movies are super intelligent. Dory, Nemo, Doug the Dog, Flick, etc. Have you ever wondered exactly how these animals got so darn smart? Since everything has an explanation in this cinematic universe, it's unsurprising that the Pixar theory solves this particular concern. To answer the question, we have to go all the way back to Brave. We know that the witch, aka Boo from Monsters Inc., experiments on animals with her magic. She turns Merida's mom into an intelligent bear, for starters. Well, the theory goes that all of the animals that the witch casts spells on are started to breed, creating a new line of super intelligent animals. Hercules and Ariel. Hercules and Ariel might not seem like two Disney characters who are likely to be related. For one, Hercules is set in ancient Greece, while The Little Mermaid takes place literally thousands of years later. However, at Disneyland, everything is possible. In The Little Mermaid, Ariel's father is King Triton, who in Greek mythology is the son of Poseidon, god of the sea. This makes Poseidon Ariel's grandfather. Greek mythology also dictates Poseidon is Zeus's brother, who in Greek mythology, and Hercules is Hercules' father. This means King Triton and Hercules are first cousins, making Ariel and Hercules related by blood. Red hair clearly runs in the family, as does a taste for adventure. Hercules and Scar. Okay, these two are not related by blood, but there's a deep connection which we can't ignore. The Lion King represents one of the earliest points in the Disney timeline. The untouched savanna and lack of evidence of any human existence give the film's circle of life message a timeless feel. In Hercules, we see the hero of ancient Greece throw a distinctive lion skin at Phil's feet. Since it's fairly unlikely that Greek hunters happened to cross Pride Rock within days of Simba's final showdown, we can assume Scar was merely wounded by falling into a pit of cackling hyenas and later proved easy prey for some Grecian adventurer. This actually makes a whole load of sense because Greece is not so far from Africa. Aladdin takes place in the future. The genie says that 10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck. And then he makes a bunch of modern-day pop cultural references, including impressions of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jack Nicholson. So unless the magic lamp has been sitting in front of a TV in the Cave of Wonders, we have to assume Aladdin takes place 10,000 years from now. Plus, the official Aladdin video game featured modern-day stop signs and explosives just hanging around in Agrabah. The remnants of a past society, perhaps. The Peddler is the genie. The bright blue, wise-cracking genie is possibly the most popular character in Aladdin. The Peddler, however, is more mysterious. He sings the movie's opening number, Arabian Nights, and introduces the story of a magic lamp that houses a huge secret. But how does he know so much about the lamp and its provenance? Simple. The genie and the Peddler are the same person. Both characters have the same voice actor and similar personalities. The Peddler's robe is the same color as the genie's body. Finally, both only have 4 fingers on their hands, and that's too much of a coincidence. Or the story of Aladdin doesn't exist. It was just a tale to convince buyers to buy the lamp. Inside Out's Bing Bong is really a monster from Monsters Inc. The saddest part of Inside Out was easily when Bing Bong sacrificed himself so Joy could save Riley, and even though it was completely necessary, a little piece of you died inside. Many fans theorize that Bing Bong is actually a monster from the Monsters Inc. world who used to visit Riley when she was younger, much like Sully visited Boo. If this is true, that means just the memory of Bing Bong died, not Bing Bong himself. Cars are related to their former owners. Have you ever wondered why all of the vehicles and cars have different accents? Like they're ultimately just machines. You'd think that they'd all have similar, if not the same, voices. Most people may say that it's just because the film's voice actors had different accents. But what if there's a deeper explanation? Jay Ward confirmed in an interview that the cars got rid of all humans when they no longer needed them. And in the same interview, he explained that the vehicles got their accents from the last person who drove them. Essentially, their voice is now a constant reminder of the owner they dispatched. Wall-E and A Bug's Life. These two movies are completely different in so many ways. One is about a robot who manages to save the human race. The other follows an ant colony and their struggles against bullying grasshoppers. However, one thing does definitely connect them. At the end of Wall-E, the eponymous robot plants a small sapling that he found in a boot. This shoot grows into a huge and impressive tree that strongly resembles the one next to the ant colony in A Bug's Life. Rapunzel and Snow White share the same mother. Disney princesses Rapunzel and Snow White both have evil stepmothers who are obsessed with beauty but turn into old hags. Disney theorists insist that they are the same person. There's the dagger they both use. Gothel keeps hers in a box, while the evil queen gave hers to the huntsman to end Snow White. PUMBA is a gargoyle in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Okay, this one might be a bit of a stretch, but if you squint, you will definitely see Pumbaa as a gargoyle in the movie. Pumbaa was turned into a gargoyle and shipped to Paris, which in a Disney animation is quite feasible. Gaston shot Bambi's mom. When we talk about tragic moments from pop culture that wrecked our childhoods, Bambi is the top of everyone's list. Who could possibly have shot Bambi's mom? Staying within the Disney universe, the most obvious culprit is the famed hunter from Beauty and the Beast who uses antlers in all of his decorating. Plus, only a cold-hearted scoundrel like Gaston could make such an adorable animal an orphan. The only issue is geography. Bambi is set in North America, while Beauty and the Beast takes place in France. But considering Gaston is an ex-soldier, he probably traveled to the New World to snag some foreign home decor and sailed back home. The Fly was once human in The Emperor's New Groove. Kuzco's journey into the scary jungles is made scarier by this theory. Only animals who were once humans can talk. So when the fly gets caught in the spider's web and screams, "Help me, help me," it's revealed he or she used to be human and was turned into a fly. So the spider is eating a person. Okay, not creepy at all. Here is another creepy relation that has nothing to do with blood. Tangled and COVID-19. So many films somehow predicted the spread of coronavirus, but who would have thought that a Disney movie would also predict the pandemic? Tangled tells the story of Rapunzel, a young princess who has magic hair that keeps her mother from aging. Her mother decides to lock her away in a castle to keep herself looking young. The town Rapunzel was isolated from the rest of the world is weirdly called Corona. Fans quickly took to Twitter, suggesting Disney predicted the spread of the coronavirus and that the town of Corona in the film represents the pandemic, while Rapunzel represents people all around the world who are self-isolating. So, which was your favorite connection? Sound off below. This has been Riveted, and we publish amazing videos daily.